In the pre-dawn darkness of January 28, 2008, John Glasgow, a respected executive and self-made millionaire from Little Rock, Arkansas, quietly left his upscale home. He told his wife he was heading to the office early, as he often did during stressful periods. The house was still, the neighborhood silent, and the sky just beginning to pale with the promise of a cold winter day. No one could have known that this ordinary act would mark the beginning of one of America's most haunting and perplexing mysteries, a case that would baffle law enforcement, devastate a family, and leave a trail of speculation that endures to this day. John Glasgow was not the kind of man who simply disappeared. As chief financial officer of CDI Contractors, he was known for his precision, diligence, and unwavering sense of responsibility. He had a reputation for honesty, a deep love for his family, and a circle of friends and colleagues who admired his quiet generosity. Yet beneath the surface, John was under immense pressure. His company was embroiled in a high-stakes legal battle over a multi-million-dollar construction project, and as CFO, he bore the brunt of the financial scrutiny. Those close to him later recalled the subtle changes, the sleepless nights, the distracted silences, the way his hands sometimes trembled when he thought no one was looking. On that fateful morning, John's SUV was captured by security cameras leaving his neighborhood. Hours later, it was found abandoned in Petit Jean State Park, a rugged expanse of forested hills and winding trails nearly an hour's drive from his home. The vehicle was parked neatly, keys still in the ignition, his briefcase and laptop untouched on the passenger seat. There were no footprints in the mud, no signs of struggle, and no evidence of foul play. The car's interior was undisturbed, as if its owner had simply stepped out for a moment and vanished into the mist. The discovery of the SUV set off a massive search. Police, family, and volunteers combed the park's dense woods, braving freezing temperatures and treacherous terrain. Helicopters swept the area, dogs followed faint scents, and divers probed the park's lakes and streams. The search was exhaustive, but as days turned into weeks, hope began to fade. Every lead, every reported sighting, every unconfirmed clue ended in frustration. The trail was cold. For John's wife, Melinda, and the rest of his family, the days after his disappearance were a blur of fear, confusion, and desperate hope. Melinda appeared on television, pleading for information. Billboards went up across Arkansas, and the case was featured on national news. The family hired private investigators, followed up on every tip, and even consulted psychics in a desperate bid for answers. Their home, once a place of comfort, became a war room filled with maps, timelines, and stacks of missing person flyers. Friends and colleagues struggled to make sense of the disappearance. Some believed John had been overwhelmed by stress and walked into the wilderness to end his life. Others suspected foul play, perhaps related to the company's legal troubles. A few whispered about the possibility that John had staged his own disappearance, escaping to start anew in some distant place. But those who knew him best insisted that he would never abandon his family or responsibilities. Detectives pored over John's financial records, emails, and phone logs. There were no suspicious transactions, no evidence of secret plans or hidden debts. His last known phone call was routine, and his computer revealed nothing out of the ordinary. The lack of evidence was itself unsettling. It was as if John had been erased from his own life. The search of Petit Jean State Park was relentless. Volunteers formed human chains, combing every inch of ground. The park's rugged beauty, its deep ravines, towering pines, and hidden caves became a labyrinth of unanswered questions. Searchers found nothing, no clothing, no personal items, no trace of John. The sense of unease grew with each passing day. As the weeks turned to months, theories multiplied. Some believed John had suffered a mental breakdown, driven by the pressures of his job. Others pointed to the company's legal battles, suggesting he might have been the victim of a targeted attack. There were rumors of shadowy figures seen near the park, of vehicles idling in remote parking lots, of strange phone calls received by the family. But every theory, no matter how plausible, eventually unraveled under scrutiny. The absence of a body only deepened the mystery. In cases of suicide, evidence is usually found: a note, personal belongings, a body. In cases of foul play, there are often signs of struggle or attempts to conceal evidence. But in John's case, there was only silence. The family's struggle. For the Glasgow family, the uncertainty was unbearable. Melinda described nights spent staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment of their last conversation, searching for clues she might have missed. John's siblings organized search parties, raised funds for billboards, and kept the story alive in the media. The family's grief was compounded by the lack of closure. They could not mourn, could not move on, could not even know if John was dead or alive. The community rallied around the family, offering support and hope. Candlelight vigils were held, prayers were offered, and strangers sent letters of encouragement. But as time passed, the world moved on. The headlines faded, the search parties dwindled, and the family was left with their grief and questions. 7 years later, in March 2015, hikers in Petit Jean State Park stumbled upon human remains in a remote area of the park, less than a mile from where John's SUV had been found. Dental records confirmed the worst: it was John Glasgow. The cause of death could not be determined. There were no signs of trauma, no suicide note, no evidence to explain why a successful, beloved man would vanish without a trace. The discovery brought a measure of closure, but no answers. The family held a memorial service, and John was finally laid to rest. But the questions remained: what happened in those final hours? Why did John drive to the park? Did he intend to disappear, or was he the victim of a crime? The mystery, in many ways, only deepened. The story of John Glasgow endures as a haunting reminder that even the most ordinary lives can hide extraordinary secrets. His disappearance invites us to question what we think we know about those around us and to consider the burdens people carry in silence. It is a tale of loss, resilience, and the enduring hope for answers, a true American mystery that continues to fascinate and disturb. The Glasgow family has worked to keep John's memory alive, sharing his story in the hope that it might help others facing similar tragedies. Their ordeal has inspired changes in how missing person cases are handled in Arkansas, and their advocacy has brought comfort to other families left in limbo by unexplained disappearances. John Glasgow's story is more than a mystery, it is a window into the complexities of human life. It reminds us that beneath the surface of even the most stable, successful lives, there can be hidden struggles, unspoken fears, and unresolved pain. It is a call to compassion, to vigilance, and to the enduring power of hope. As the years pass, the questions may never be fully answered. But the story of the vanished millionaire will remain a testament to the enduring mystery of the human heart, and the unbreakable bonds of family, love, and memory.